Welcome to RPV City Talk. RPV City Talk is brought to you by the City of Rancho Palos Verdes to inform the community on recent city matters. RPV City Talk is a weekly show that features the RPV mayor, city council, or city employees.
Hello everyone, I'm Liz Brown Swanson and welcome to RPV City Talk. Today we're going to be talking about some exciting projects on the agenda with the Recreation and Parks Department. Joining me now is the Director of Rec and Parks, Tom Odom. Always great to be with you.
Thanks,
on a
Liz.
Gorgeous day. We're here right now at Upper Hesse Park. And we're going to talk about some proposed projects at the Lower Hesse Park below us, and also with Grandview Park. Let's just kind of start off with an overview right now. I know you're very busy in your department working on all these things. How's it going?
Just fine. As you said, real busy. We've instituted some recreational programming after a lot of years of just contracting it out, and so we're doing some work in staff now with very successful Easter egg hunt for the community, and also Not at the Museum, which was an inaugural event that was very popular. And right now working on the 4th of July celebration coming up in a couple of weeks.
So you're busy, and again, I think since you've been on board as director, you've really worked hard to just, do a lot of projects that benefit everyone in the community of all ages. And so, which brings me to what's going on now. Your department is very focused on several projects that really could benefit the entire community in terms of park enhancements. So let's start where we are right now. We're at Upper Hesse Park, and there's been a lot of community discussion about developing Lower Hesse Park, or improving Lower Hesse Park, I should say.
Right, that's true. I think really the issue in a community the size of Rancho Palos Verdes is really a balance of opportunity. And we have about 1,400 acres of open space and approximately 390 acres of parkland, much of which is not in the development stage as far as additional site improvements. And at the moment, this summer, we're in the middle of an outreach process. We want to getting a lot of people's input of what they might want to see in these parks that would address the unmet need for recreational opportunities in the city.
Right. There's always a need to improve and enhance what we have as these many jewels in the community with our parkland space. I have to admit, I'd never come to right here where we're standing looking down at Lower Hesse Park, and it's unbelievable. You got the ocean view and just a lot of land here that you could do a lot with. That talk about just sort of like you said right now, everything's just kind of on the table. You're working with consultants. We'll be meeting with them later. And just what your kind of some ideas and concepts that you're thinking about, of course, bringing the community into those discussions.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're really in the planning process, and what we want to do is balance both the active population of the city, young kids, whether they're playing soccer, playing tennis, basketball, with the people of the older generation like me who like to walk and contemplate life, so to speak. Those families that want to get out and do picnics with those people that have pets. So we're looking at trying to gauge the community, look at the input, what a park would look like with those amenities before we proceed with the city council. So we're in the middle of scheduling or planning our second workshop in this effort, which is July the 17th, and we feel that that's very important to get people out. We're out doing surveys in the community. We were at the annual street fair this week soliciting community input. So the council direction was to really do a robust outreach effort, which the staff is doing at the present time.
I know you're busy out there working, like you said. And in terms of community feedback, of course, you seem to be getting positive feedback. There's always going to be people that are concerned, have issues, and certainly aren't going to be supportive. What's your message to those folks at this point in terms of trying to get them to listen and communicate with you and to get their point of view across?
Well, there again, I think the outreach process is listening to what their concerns are and what the impacts or potential impacts to their neighborhoods might be, and listening to that's very important, and to try to mitigate those impacts. We certainly want the parks to be enjoyed by all, but they also need to be compatible with the neighborhoods, and we're intent on listening to what those concerns are and trying to address them.
And talk a little bit about the history here as we stand here at Lower Hesse Park. I don't know when any improvements were made last year, or sort of why now and how their opportunity might be there for funding. And it's all part of the present council's goals to make enhancements.
Well, one of the major city council goals was providing and improving accessibility to the city's park space. And there again, a big part of that is balanced opportunities for all the population. And I think really the state parks motto this year, or branding, is Parks Make Life Better. And we've sort of adopted that as our motto too, because it's really true. To develop the young people and to keep the older generation active, parks do make life better for wellness, for development of character. And so we're committed to doing that, but at the same time listening to the community and addressing any of those concerns. Well, if you pan around and look at it now, you'll see that it's really just unmanned trails, some unshaded picnic areas. There's no active recreational opportunities. So we want to get the community's input and look at what some of those recreational opportunities might be. It may be tennis courts, it may be basketball, it might simply be an open field for kids to practice soccer. I know when we walked up there was little kids having a soccer camp today when we walked up. So it's those kind of opportunities that we would want to look at, but at the same time use the planning tools to buffer some of those activities from the neighborhoods, and in a combination of walking trails, picnic nodes, because the Hesse Park itself is approximately 29 acres, but there's only 10 programmed for active use. And the other 18 or so acres are down here, as you can see, that's not developed much for any kind of use.
Okay, Tom, so far we've been really focusing on what's happening here below at Lower Hesse Park, but you also have some proposals going on with Grandview Park. Talk a little bit about the history of that park and why now the need to make some enhancements there. There's
just no improvements at all at Grandview. It's basically was acquired by the city from the school district many years ago. I think probably many years ago that both these sites were planned for schools, which didn't happen for one reason or another, so that the city acquired them from the school district, and there's just hasn't been any improvements to both these sites, Grandview included, that would create an accessibility for recreational opportunities for the community. I'm again here with the Recreation and Parks Director, Tom Odom. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to meet up with the consultants that are working hard with the city to have this all come together. So stay tuned.
They're walking towards me too.